What's up, basketballers? And I hope fellow Knicks fans, come on, join the bandwagon. The Knicks are actually good. They just got off of a 9 game winning streak with a tough loss to the Suns. Chris Paul had some crazy clutch shots. Devin Booker was just a scoring machine. Those losses are going to happen, but the Knicks are still 5 games over 500, in control of a home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, and are being led by their all-star Julius Randle. I mean, not even the most optimistic of Knicks fans would have thought of this scenario before the season started. Julius Randle shooting 41% on his three-pointers, averaging 6 assists per game. He's averaging like 24, 10, and 6. All-star and even possible All-NBA third-team player. I think he should be, maybe a little bit biased. Mitchell Robinson's been out a lot of the season, but Nerlens Noel has filled in amazingly on defense. RJ Barrett has taken a quantum leap, as Clyde the Glide Frazier would usually say. 20 years old, averaging 18 points per game and really finding his stroke from 3-point range. Derrick Rose, it just seems like he's always scoring 20 points off the bench. He's been absolutely amazing. Quickly's been a talented neophyte for this New York Knicks team. Burke's a talented scorer. Peyton's probably the most hated Knicks player on the roster, but I guess he can like hit some layups sometimes. I don't know. Good job. Taj Gibson always getting some energy off the bench. Reggie Bullock, he should be over a 75 overall because of how important his shooting is for this New York Knicks team. Obi Toppin's been a little bit underwhelming, but can have a highlight play every once in a while. And then you got Frank the Tank, Kevin Knox, Mr. Fortnite Man, and the rest of the guys just kind of rounding out the bench mob. I created this lineup. This is somewhat realistic. Peyton, Bullock, Barrett, Randle, and Robinson as the starting five, with D Rose, Nerlens Noel, Quickly, Burks, and Obi Toppin off the bench. The only thing unrealistic about this is that Tom Thibodeau would probably be running a 9 man rotation instead of a 10 man rotation, but it is what it is. System proficiency is 2.5 stars defense. I'll go to 3 stars balanced, and we'll start simulating the season. I turned off CPU to CPU trades because I don't want, teams changing before the 2021 playoffs. And yeah, we're just going to simulate and hope that we can make the 2021 playoffs. I don't think the 2K algorithm really likes the New York Knicks a lot, so I'm not sure if we'll actually make it, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. And then we can go to the offseason where we have a lot of expiring contracts and a lot of cap space to work with. So that's definitely going to be interesting. I'll see you guys maybe at the All-Star break. And if not then the playoffs or lottery, I guess. Also, I should note that injuries are off and team chemistry is off as well. Yeah, so at the contract extension deadline, no one really wants to sign with us. I don't know why. We're winning basketball, but whatever. We're going to have like $60 million in cap space once we accept Julius Randle's team option going into the 2021 offseason. We are 23 and 18 right now. Let's continue making that playoff push. At the All-Star break, we actually have two senses of good news. One, we're 29 and 22, firmly in the playoff picture, I can only imagine. And two, Julius Randle's actually an All-Star at the bottom of team Giannis Antetokounmpo, 7'9" man himself. I don't usually see Julius Randle get All-Star love in 2K, so that's nice to see. Let's just continue this playoff push. As we wrap up season number 1, Joel Lion Embiid is the MVP, averaging 32, 14, 3, 1, and 2.5. That's crazy numbers right there. LaMelo Rookie of the Year. I hear he's coming back soon. Spencer Dinwiddie, 6th Man of the Year. Giannis, Defensive Player of the Year. Chris Boucher, Most Improved. Come on, Julius Randle got robbed. And then Mike Malone of the Denver Nuggets is the Coach of the Year. So we have our first team right here, second team right here. Third team is Julius Randle. He actually did make the All-NBA third team. If we look at his stats for this season, he averaged 24, 10, and 4 on 54, 41, 83 splits. Hey, 2K, good job. You actually almost got his statistics right. We were the 8th seed with a record of 44 and 38. Let's look at the standings in the Eastern Conference. So we're going to go to standings, league standings. The 76ers were only 8 games better than us, and we were 44 and 38, 3 games above the 9th seed, so we did sneak that 8th seed in the playoffs. Looking at our players' stats for the season, you already saw Julius Randle's really nice season. Derrick Rose, 18.5 off the bench. That's really, really solid. RJ Barrett with 17, 5, and 4 off starting. Alec Burks with 10, Mitch Robb with 10, Elfrid Payton with 10, Quickly with 9, Bullock with 8, Noel with 6 or 7 and 7 will round up for him. Obi Toppin with 6, and Frank Ntilikina, I guess, scored a basket this season. So go us. We were not the greatest at an 8th seed, but let's see if we can make some noise in the playoffs maybe. Also looking at the Dallas Mavericks did not make the playoffs, so that is really good for us as we have their pick going into this season. We're just going to simulate the round. I doubt we'll take more than 2 games, but we'll see. 76ers go up 2-0. We'll have 2 games at home now. It doesn't look like it's going to matter. Oh, we get 1 game at home.
So
All right, and then we lose at 5. The gentleman's sweep. We'll take that. I'll see you guys when someone wins the NBA championship. And in a 7-game series, the Lakers once again repeat as the champions. They almost blew a 3-1 lead. The 76ers got it to 7 after that, but 76ers lose in 7. I'm also going to be turning CPU trades back on now that we're, in a fantasy land in the offseason of summer 2021. Tyson Chandler, Jamal Crawford, a bunch of these old guys retire. League meetings, I think we're definitely going to reject the sudden death overtime rule, reject everything. And the draft lottery, let's see what pick the Dallas Mavericks might give us. It looked like it was later in the lottery, but the number 10 odds is pretty solid. And we stay at number 10. So we'll have the 10th pick in this nice draft class.
Nice.
And we got to get Randy Martin. That's just kind of like the 2K thing to do. So at our pick at number 10, we still have Scotty Barnes on the board. Evan Mobley's still at the board. Why is he ranked 13th? Jonathan Kuminga also still on the board? Okay, we definitely have some interesting players we can think about here. We don't really need a power forward. We don't really need a small forward because RJ and Julius Randle are probably going to be part of the core we go with moving forward. Mitchell Robinson isn't set. He is going to be asking for an extension after next summer, and it might be more than I'm willing to give him. So I think we're going to go with... We could also go with Scotty Lewis, but I think we're going to go with Evan Mobley with this pick. So in total in this draft, we got Evan Mobley to 78 overall at the 10th pick. We got Will Richardson only a 72 overall with the 17th pick. And Wendell Moore, a 75 overall in the second round. We're definitely going to sign all 3 of those guys. Going to team player options, Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson will obviously accept both of those. And now going into the qualifying offers, I don't think we're going to offer Frank Ntilikina the qualifying offer. $8 million. I just don't quite think he's worth that to the New York Knicks at this point. In free agency, I'm going to offer some of the top point guards in this free agency class 1-1, very large 1-1 deals like this to Spencer Dinwiddie. I accidentally pressed the wrong button, so let me go back to the point guards. We're going to negotiate a contract about $40 million a year. We'll backload it, and we will give him a team option. We're going to do the same thing with Kyle Lowry. We're going to do 2 years. We'll give him $42 million, and we'll make that second year a team option. And then I think we're also going to try to re-sign Derrick Rose just on we'll give him a 2-year deal worth about $23 million. He's just been such a good veteran backup point guard for the Knicks so far in his tenure, so I definitely want to give him that chance. We don't need Kyle Lowry and Spencer Dinwiddie. Spencer Dinwiddie's a little bit younger, so we're going to decline Kyle Lowry. We're going to renounce the rights on Elfrid Payton. I think all Knicks fans are going to be happy to see him go. We're not going to renounce the rights on Nerlens and Reggie Bullock. Everyone else, we'll also keep Alec Burks' bird rights for right now, and we'll simulate past the moratorium period. Another thing that I think the Knicks should try to do is offer a pretty large contract for Duncan Robinson, just maybe like a 1-year deal, but more a deal that would make the Miami Heat, not want to go into the luxury tax to match this offer for Duncan Robinson. So I'm going to give him about $13 million for 1 year, and we can decide what to do with him after that. And then in terms of a backup point guard, do we still have bird rights on we do not appear to have bird rights on Nerlens Noel, but let's see if we'll sign him back for $12 million. I'll give him that for 1 year, but definitely not any more than that. So after day 1 of free agency, it looks like we can get Alec Burks and Duncan Robinson back. The Miami Heat do not match that offer on Duncan Robinson, so we can take a quick look at our roster now. We have 1, 2 in terms of point guards, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so we have plenty of players to play for this season, so I'm just probably going to simulate to the training camps. Or we'll simulate to player progression first. Player progression, Julius Randle actually goes down 1 overall. That's not very good. RJ Barrett goes up 1, Mitchell Robinson up 1, Emmanuel Quickly up 1, Toppin up 5, Derrick Rose down 1, and a good amount of green arrows going up. At training camps, we have 3 because of our big dog, Randy Martin, we signed. We're going to go untapped potential to Julius Randle. He's not an A yet, so he'll go up to an A+. We'll give, not free throw, we'll give untapped potential to RJ Barrett, who's going to go up to an A. And then we're also going to give untapped potential to, is Evan Mobley an A+? He is. We'll give it to Emmanuel quickly. He'll go up, or not. He'll just stay at an A-, I guess. So after just adjusting the rotation a little bit, we'll start Dinwiddie quickly, Barrett, Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. Obi Toppin will be our 6th man with Derrick Rose. Duncan Robinson and Evan Mobley is going to round out our bench. Alec Burks, Kevin Knox, and Wendell Moore are not getting minutes. I think I'm going to package Alec Burks and Kevin Knox in a trade closer to the trade deadline because Kevin Knox is an expiring deal, and Alec Burks would probably be a very useful piece to a championship level team as a veteran scorer. Also, in terms of our system proficiency, we're still going to be running a balanced system, and we are 3.5 stars at that system. So it hasn't been the greatest start to the season so far. We're 18-20. At this point, I think we're going to try to find a trade for Alec Burks and Kevin Knox. Well, I didn't expect that to go through so easily. I'll kind of do a little quick recap of what that trade was. Transaction report. We traded Spencer Dinwiddie, Kevin Knox, 2022 first-round pick, top 10 protected, our 2022 second-round pick, and Alec Burks for TJ Warren and Malcolm Brogdon. The Pacers have not really lived up to expectations this year. TJ Warren's on the last year of his contract, and his morale was like below 25. He really, really does not want to be in Indiana, and I can show you guys that the standings, the Pacers have not exactly lived up to expectations. So it's maybe a kind of a rebuild kind of thing for the Indiana Pacers, and I really like how this helps our team. With this, I think we're going to move, for at least this season, RJ Barrett to the shooting guard for the starting lineup, and he'll probably be back to the small forward because I doubt we'll re-sign TJ Warren. But for right now, our rotation will look like this. It'll look like Brogdon, Barrett, TJ Warren, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson, with Toppin, D Rose, Quickly, Duncan Robinson, and I think I'm going to make it a 10-man rotation so we can get Evan Mobley some minutes off the bench. And at the end of season number 2, the other front-runner center MVP candidate this season wins the MVP. Jokic has 22, 12, 8.5. Greg Brown is the Rookie of the Year. Okay. Jalen Smith, 6th Man of the Year. Giannis, Defensive Player. And Malachi Flynn, Most Improved, with James Borrego of the Hornets actually being the Most Improved Coach of the Year. Here's the All-NBA first team, second team, and third team. No New York Knicks on it this season. Do we have any rookies on the all-rookie teams? No, we don't. We finished the season as the 6th seed, 47 and 35. I'll show the standings. We were tied with the 5th seed and 2 games behind the 4th seed. We were a game up on the 7th seed, 3 games up on the 8th seed, and 4 games up on the 9th seed. Let's look at our players' stats for this season. Let's see. Julius Randle still our leading scorer, only averaging 18.5 though. 8 rebounds, kind of a down season for him. Malcolm Brogdon, 16 and 7.5. RJ, 16 as well. Obi Toppin, 15 off the bench. TJ Warren with 13. D Rose with 13. And then the rest of the guys off the bench doing bench things. So let's simulate this first round of the playoffs. Let's see if we'll actually make it out of the first round this year. We win the first 2 games of the series, lose the third, and it's now tied at 2-2. We're up 3-2. Let's simulate this game with Simcast, see if we can actually get out of the first round right here. Looks like we have a little bit of an early first quarter lead. They have a humongous second quarter. We have a big third quarter, and it's very close going into the final few minutes of the game. Really high scoring game. It looks like they're just barely going to pull away at the end of this game, though, and win 148-134. In that game, Obi Toppin had 26, Mobley had 22 and 10. Okay, our bench big's doing some work. And Jason Tatum had 39. Alright, game 7. Let's get this bread. Let's move on to the second round. We start off the first quarter with a little bit of the lead, and they come back strong in the second quarter once again. Really high scoring games.
That's a lot of damage.
And we're going to get blown out. Yep, we lose in Game 7. We blew a 3-2 lead in the first round, and we're going to be watching from the couch once again. Jokic wins the MVP and the Finals MVP as the Nuggets win in 7 games. Alright, definitely some big decisions to happen right now. Malcolm Brogdon is still under contract. Derrick Rose is still under contract as well, but we could easily trade him and get off his money if we need to, even though he's been pretty good. RJ Barrett and Toppin, we have team options on them. We have Evan Mobley and Will Richardson under contract, but Julius Randle is due for a new contract. He's a big cap hold right now. TJ Warren we're probably not going to bring back, same as Duncan Robinson, and we have some other cap holds on the horizon. Here are all of the rookies we signed right there, and we can go on to team player options, where we will obviously accept RJ Barrett's team option. What the fuck, 2K? Obi Toppin will accept, Manuel Quickly will accept, and Wendell Moore will also accept. We're going to accept all four of those guys right there. Qualifying offers, Duncan Robinson's not going to get one. $16 million is a lot of money. We're not going to spend that amount of money on him. And in the moratorium period, we could go after a star. This is obviously subject to change, but right now we have Brogdon and Rose, Barrett and Quickly, Wendell Moore, Toppin, and Evan Mobley. A small forward or a shooting guard might be the way to go, or a point guard and we can trade Malcolm Brogdon and keep D Rose off the bench for one more season. So out of these top guys, I really don't think Steph Curry would leave. Luka Doncic is restricted. We could offer a deal to Kevin Durant. I think I'll do that right now. Give him maybe like $180 million for 4 years. Give him a no trade clause. So we'll offer that to him. We could also offer a deal to Kyrie. We'll do something pretty similar, except I'm not going to spend all my time getting that up to $180 million. We'll do that with a no trade clause. And we'll also give Zach LaVine as a little bit of a third option kind of thing. I think he would actually be a nice fit in New York and would maybe be a little bit more of a realistic expectation to come to New York. I'm not going to give him a no trade clause. So Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Zach LaVine all elect to accept our offer. I think out of all these guys, I'm going to sign Kyrie Irving. I just think he might be the most interesting on this team for right now. And for that, I'm probably going to have to trade away Malcolm Brogdon. So I'm going to trade away Malcolm Brogdon and maybe Will Richardson and see what we can get. I'm going to do this trade as the Bulls have often been looking for a starting point guard, and we can give them that in Malcolm Brogdon. We can also give them Will Richardson, and they're going to give us Scotty Barnes. They have Patrick Williams, and Patrick Williams outperformed Scotty Barnes this year, so they might be willing to do that. They don't actually want to do that. They want to give me Patrick Williams and Wendell Moore. I really don't want to, you don't have to do that. I'm trying to make this more fair for you, dude. I'll give you an extra first to, make you guys happier. Yeah, sure, we'll do that. And now we should have enough money to sign Kyrie Irving and not have to renounce the rights on Julius Randle. So that is what we're going to do. Now that we've signed Kyrie, we're going to try to re-sign Julius Randle back on the bag. We'll give him a 3-year, $105 million deal. Hope he accepts that. And then just to kind of fill out a few positions, we'll see what we can afford. We can try to get Duncan Robinson back for $8 million. Let's see what happens there. Does Julius Randle still think of us as his number one offer? Let's go to power forwards. We'll go to view offers. And yeah, we're his only offer right now. So Julius Randle accepts. And Duncan Robinson also accepts. I think we're going to lose Mitchell Robinson, but that's fine because we have Evan Mobley. We do have his bird rights, so I'll kind of monitor him as the days go along. It doesn't really look like he's gotten a significant offer yet. He also should be a restricted free agent, so maybe we'll get him back on the qualifying offer for one more year. Okay, I guess we didn't get Mitchell Robinson back on the qualifying offer, but that's fine. A lot of green arrows right here. Irving goes back up, Randle back up, Barrett, Mobley, Toppin, Quickly, Scotty Barnes, Derrick Rose goes down 1, and the team is looking really good going into this final season, hopefully, season number 3. Let's win a championship. In training camps, we're also going to send RJ Barrett to Untapped Potential, get him up to an A+. I think that's an A- for some reason anyway, but we'll just, gloss over that. We'll send Obi Toppin, he'll get to an A. And then we're also going to we'll send Scotty Barnes to Untapped Potential as well. And then in the last trade, I think we're just going to go kind of crazy. Derrick Rose is pretty heavily declining. Scotty Barnes, I think we have an upgrade in Cade Cunningham right here. The Kings, I guess, don't want him because they still have De'Aaron Fox. Wendell Moore we've been developing, and we're going to throw in our own unprotected 2023 and second round pick in 2024 for Cade Cunningham and Kelly Oubre. You literally were just interested in this trade until I added an extra first round pick. I'm really just trying to make this more fair for you. Really, I will add in all the first round picks you want. There you go. They agreed to that trade. They were just going to agree with it with a second round pick, but whatever, they had to make it more complicated. We're going to move RJ Barrett back to his natural position at small forward. We're going to move Kyrie Irving to shooting guard because that's what he's been playing this year in Brooklyn. And then we're going to have Cade Cunningham be our starting point guard. Alright, and after a little bit of finagling with the lineup, we're going to go with this: Cade, Kyrie, RJ, Julius, and Evan Mobley, with Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickley, Kelly Oubre Jr., and Duncan Robinson rounding out the rotation. We're not going to be running a 9 or 10-man rotation this time, Thibodeau. We're going to run a 9-man, and it's going to look like that. System proficiency is 4 stars balanced, and that is going to be the best that we have, so we're going to run balanced. And I think that we're true championship contenders this season. Let's get it. Also, quickly adjusting the shot tendencies. I want Julius Randle to be up to an 85. I want RJ Barrett also up to an 85. Evan Mobley at an 80 is fine. Cade Cunningham should be up at an 80. We'll give him an 80 right now. Obi Toppin can go down to about a 75 quickly. I want him shooting off the bench, so we'll give him a 65. Oubre, not much. We'll give him a 50. Duncan Robinson will also give a 50, and just make sure that his shot 3 tendency, wherever that is a 99. Or we can even give him a 100. Perfect. I don't know if I'm just blind, but I think I see Julius Randle down there and not... Oh, no, never mind. Kyrie Irving's right there, and Julius Randle. So we have 2 All-Stars, and right now we are 38-13. This is looking really good for the New York Knicks. Let's try to finish off strong. Maybe we'll be a 1 or a 2 seed. Who knows? And as season number 3 wraps up, Luka Doncic is your MVP, Chet Holmgren Rookie of the Year, Dinwiddie 6th Man of the Year, ex-Nick, in this fantasy land simulation. Once again, the tall Greekus Greek god himself is the Defensive Player of the Year. Evan Mobley on our team, most improved, 19, 11, and 5, so that's good. That's kind of why I let Mitchell Robinson walk last offseason. And Tom Thibodeau of the New York Knicks is the Coach of the Year, 61 and 21. All NBA teams, do we have anybody? The Evan Mobley, actually, is our only player. Even though Julius Randle and Kyrie Irving made the All-Star team, our All-NBA player is Evan Mobley. So let's look at the season stats. You already saw that we were probably the first seed in the Eastern Conference. Kyrie Irving led the team with 22, 8.5 assists as well. RJ Barrett, 21, 5 and 4. Mobley, 19, 11, 5 and 2 blocks. Julius Randle with 18 and 10. He made the All-Star team and he was our 4th leading scorer. Cade Cunningham as well with a really good all-around season. Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickley almost in double figures, and then Duncan Robinson and Kelly Oubre Jr. rounding out our bench. I feel really, really good about this season. Our first series is going to be against the Milwaukee Bucks. They have Kareem Maine, Dante DiVincenzo, Middleton, Greekman, and Blake Griffin starting at center. Yeah, there's no way that Blake Griffin is going to be able to guard Evan Mobley in this series. We go up 1-0. They actually tie it 1-1. We go up 2-1. We should go up 3-1 here. And let's give them the gentleman's sweep in 5 games. Next, we're going against the Atlanta Hawks. They have TJ McConnell, okay, no Trae Young, Jaden Hardy, Cam Reddish, John Collins, and Wendell Carter Jr. Clint Capella off the bench. I mean, it's a very solid all-around team, but they don't have much firepower. No Trae Young means no win in this series. We're up 2-0, we're up 3-0. Fucking wipe the floor with their cocks right there. We do another gentleman's sweep in 5 games. Next, we have the Orlando Magic, the 6th seed.
Gotcha, bitch!
They have Trae Young, Jalen Green, Kendall Brown, Jonathan Isaac, and Mo Bamba. A pretty good team. Trae Young is a decent star, but I still think we have by far the better team in this matchup. And yeah, 3-1, 4-1. We've won all of our series in 5 games, and we're going up against the Pelicans. Wow. Tried to say way too many words right there. We're going to be going up against the Pelicans in the NBA Finals in this final season. We're going to look at our player stats in the playoffs. Kyrie's averaging 22.5 and 9, Mobley 22 and 12 with 2 blocks, Barrett with 21, and then Randle and Cade Cunningham with 15 apiece. Really well-balanced scoring for this Knicks team. And against the New Orleans Pelicans in the finals, they have Kyra Lewis, Lonzo, Ingram, Zion at a 97, and Cody Zeller with Jackson Hage coming off the bench. All right, this one's definitely going to be a little bit tougher of a matchup, so we're going to simulate this one game by game and hope this goes well. They win game 1 by 8 points. Kyrie had 33 and 9, but Zion had 40 and 13. Wow, that is a really good Zion Williamson that we're going against. Game 2, We win. We win by 18. Randle had 27, 10, and 4. The glory days of Randle being the best player on this Knicks team, and now he's the fourth leading scorer or something like that. But it's all going to be worth it if we can win a championship. They go up 2-1. That's not good. I'm not even going to look at the box score. I don't even want to see it. We're going to go game 4. They go up 3-1. It's not looking good. I think we're going to have to simulate this one with Simcast, but I don't have a lot of faith coming back from a 3-1 deficit. Accidentally pressed the wrong button there. Let's see how it goes. We win the first quarter. Oh, we dominate the second quarter. Okay, we've won this one. We're going to at least bring a game 6 back in this series. All right, we're going to game 6, and they're up by 1,000,000. Oh, making a little bit of a comeback. Okay. No, now they're up by 1,000,000. And we are going to lose in game 6 of the NBA Finals. Zion Williamson, the fucking cover athlete, Jordan shoe brand man himself, at 23 years old, averages 32.5, 11, and 4 assists on 66% shooting in the NBA Finals, and they eliminate us. So that's probably where I'm going to end this here. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the Knicks a championship, but they're well set up for the future. Kyrie Irving's still under contract. Randle's under contract. Barrett, he's going to need a new contract, but they'll have enough money under the hard cap. Still have a few more years of Evan Mobley and Obi Toppin. Cade Cunningham. This is a very young team with some star power vets like Julius Randle and Kyrie Irving. And I just think that we built a really good team around the New York Knicks right here. If we won a 4th season, I almost guarantee we'd win a championship, but I do not have the time, so I'm going to have to leave that off here. Let me know how you think I did with the New York Knicks, how realistic or unrealistic you thought it was, and whether you think they'd win a championship in the 4th year. I'm peacing out. Peace.